on the crossover. Gets inside and hammers it down.
Suns, Booker for the win. Yes! Richardson up ahead. Look out. He's got him up. Booker, this is for the win.
Welcome back to the Valley Podcast, the Suns' fastest growing podcast. Man, welcome everybody. Welcome Salty. Much needed win tonight. Much better feeling emotionally after we just drub the Washington Wizards, a team that I was honestly a little worried about. It kind of felt like a trap game. Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson comes in. They can't tackle him. Fuck.
Russell Wilson was incredible in the pocket tonight. No, Russell Westbrook, man, he always plays us so tough. So I always feel like he's going to be that guy that shows out. Tonight it was Nito, however you want to say his name. But, of course, Westbrook comes in, plays 100 miles an hour at the end of the game to try to get his greedy triple-double. Salty, how do you feel after this win?
I feel good. They did what they're supposed to. The Wizards were shorthanded. They didn't have Bradley Beal, so that's like minus 40 points right there. And, yeah, they're already not that good. I think they're 2 games out of the playing game in the shitty East Coast, you know? So they got the job done. I was worried in the first half, dude, you know? I wasn't worried that we're going to lose. I was just disappointed. You know, like the father that walks in the room, he's like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed because we were playing down to our competition again in the first half, you know? So I was worried that was going to continue through the whole game because I was hoping for some garbage time minutes from my boy Sticks, which he ended up getting in, but he didn't do anything because he didn't really get the ball. But we'll talk about that later. But I think that they probably got bitched at by their coach in the second half, and all of a sudden it was like snap your fingers and it's a 16-point lead in the third quarter in the beginning.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and
they came out with their hair on fire in the third quarter, man. It was unbelievable. Same level of play that we get when we play a top level team. They played that type of basketball versus a terrible team. And that's what happens. You get to blow them out by 30 points.
Yeah, I think it was another situation where they weren't playing that good of defense in the first half, just not really about it. And you could tell with the score and just the rotations and stuff like that. Like I said, you know, Monty was just bitched him out in the locker room, be like, we just lost, and then you guys are coming out and playing down to your competition or whatever he's going to say. And they got the message, which is nice because they came out with their hair on fire in the third quarter and just shut shit down.
They looked tired, and they had a night of rest, but they looked like they were still tired from the Jazz game in that first half. Just same old, whatever you guys are going to play, that's how we're going to play. But, yeah, you're right, man. They came out in the third quarter and just lit it up.
The Wizards at one point, I think it was like the first quarter, had like 30 points in the paint. It was insane. Like Robin Lopez was in there. Alex Len was bodying DeAndre Ayton for a little bit. Remember you text me about that? You're just
yeah, that was frustrating.
Dude, it's just so strange to have 2 of the Suns' ex-bust centers to be on the same Wizard squad. Of course, they're trash. You know,
I'm sitting here thinking all the worries we have about is Ayton this, is Ayton that. You know, do we have enough size if we've only got Saric? Like, dude, what would you do if your center situation was Robin Lopez and Alex Len at the same time? I mean, we're in an incredible position. We just don't realize it sometimes.
Yeah, Robin Lopez just looks awkward, man. Wasn't he the dude that shattered the door or like the window on the door in the practice facility?
Yeah. He was a goon back in the day, bro. He didn't even know how to play basketball. He was like Gobert with no talent whatsoever.
He read comic books and like was a weirdo and stuff like that, I think. Not that you're a weirdo if you read comic books, but he's just strange. It's just weird to see him in the NBA still, and both of those dudes on the same team. But
absolutely weird.
DeAndre Ayton did play good, man. Confident.
He had a really good game. I was extremely pleased. I'd give him like A- B+ tonight, which I'll never complain about that type of effort from DA. 14 and 10. I think it would have been extrapolated out a lot further. I think he would have hit 20 points again, and we'd all just be singing his praises, So good on you, DA. You looking good out there.
You want to shout out the chat, or
I do, but first I want to tell everybody, Coach is out sick tonight, and so he just couldn't make it. Man, we love you, Coach. We miss you. Hopefully, you're able to make it into the chat. But you guys wish Coach a quick recovery. But yeah, chat. AZ Suns Cards Yotes Backs Roy, a burner account, basketball and football guy. My girl Katie Landry, what's up? She's at work. She needs to get back to work, if I'm being completely honest, or she's going to end up in the basement with Suns Geek. Johnny GT17, Iverson, our day one. Burner, why you gotta do me like that by saying Sticks is goated? We'll talk about that later, man. I'm moving on. Roy was the first one in here. Everybody, man, we appreciate you guys. Yeah, man. So it kind of feels weird, right? Were you expecting a blowout?
I was, man. I feel like the Suns, if you look at their stats, I think they have the best record off of a loss in the NBA. So they bounce back pretty good. It's been only a couple times this season where we've had actual back-to-back losses. So the Suns respond incredibly well. And it's weird going from like these big games, you know what I'm saying? Like these highly anticipated games to playing the Wizards. It's just like a weird scenario there because it's like a huge drop off. And I could see how the players would take some of these teams lightly, because like as a fan watching these games, you go into it with the mentality where you're like, yeah, these guys aren't on our level, we should blow them out. And I was actually talking about that on my Twitter because I was saying they were playing down to the competition and it was tied or it was close going into the halftime. And you got to think from a player's standpoint, it's easy to kind of get into that mindset when you're have one of the best records in the NBA and you know a team's coming in hurt and they're not that good. So, yeah, I was expecting them to bounce back and beat this team, and they did. And I think that, they've been doing it all season, so it's nothing out of the ordinary,
It's true, man. We definitely continued our streak. Here on the Suns Valley Pod, we consider the Suns to have not lost a single game this year back-to-back. Anybody new that's listening or ends up hearing this, the one loss that we do have, we've got a 3-game losing streak, but that game in the middle was the one where Jamal Murray traveled across the state of Denver and then took a shot and they still let it count. So
there's a guy in the chat called Dario's Cigarette Butt.
Nice.
Is the expectation to go up 20 in the first and hold it all game?
I never expect that for our team. I expect that our team is always going to let them back in it. Unless it's third and fourth quarter, we can hold those leads, but we don't really hold first half leads, even when we get them, right?
Yeah, I mean, they've done this all season, like kind of play down to the competition. So even if they did have like a
state
huge
of
lead,
Denver.
If they had a huge lead, you probably would have expected them to kind of drop it or whatever.
State of Colorado, my bad. LOL.
State of Denver.
You didn't catch it.
I didn't even hear you say that. What was that? What'd you say?
I was talking about the distance that Jamal Murray traveled, but I was saying across the state of Colorado is what I meant to say. Thanks, Coach. Random topic here on the game though. Campaign Ish Smith. I'm the only one on this podcast who says that to me they are like a spitting image of each other. You got to see them versus each other tonight. Everybody in the chat, please weigh in on this. Salty first.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see any similarities between Ish Smith and Cam Payne, who had a good night tonight? Or am I still on crack?
It's strange that you actually bring that up because I was thinking that myself.
No, you weren't.
I promise, dude.
No, you weren't, because every time I've brought it up, you've shit on me, dude. Are you kidding me?
Wait, hold up. When did you bring up that campaigns like Ish Smith?
I brought it up at least 3 times. I swear
don't
to
think
God.
so.
I swear to God, I will go back and
All right,
find,
so here's
the
the
tape.
deal. I remember when you said that Campaign was like the point guard of the
I said
future.
but I also said, I've always said it's Ish Smith. They're speedy. They're like the same height. They finish around the rim. They're not the best shooters, but you've got to actually, take them seriously. I thought tonight they looked like each other too. So I was hoping that
but how
maybe
many
you'd come
teams-
around on this.
How many teams has Ish Smith been on?
1 million.
And how many teams did he start for?
He doesn't normally start. He's a backup.
So I mean that kills your take right there, right?
No, because Cam Payne was a journeyman who got kicked out of the league. He had to work his way back into the league like PJ Tucker.
No, but you're comparing him to Ish Smith, who's a perennial journeyman that never was a starter. But then you said at one point that
Ish Smith can ball.
Campaign was the point guard of the future, right?
Well, I'm coming off of that. Can I be honest?
You're off that. All right.
I'm coming off of that. I'm coming off of Campaign getting a chance to be our starting PG, and I think I would just like to have him around for a long time as our backup PG. Is that fair?
That's fair. I can buy that. But
and he's like Ish Smith, but better.
You would say Campaign's better than Ish Smith?
Yes, because Campaign has a better jumper, and he's younger.
I don't know. Man, it's been so long since I watched Ish Smith play regularly. I think they're they're comparable. Yeah. I don't know. Which one would you rather have?
Campaign, younger, better jumper. It's just that really explosive first step. And that being able to reach out at the rim and finish at awkward angles, just using your speed. It's like he's all speed.
Coach disagrees.
Oh, you think Ish has a better jumper than Cam? That's interesting.
What's their percentages? I'm sure he knows.
Right? Look that up.
I mean, you could look it up.
Yeah, I'll look it up here. But so Cam says Payne or Barbosa is. Or sorry. He says Cam Barbosa Payne for sure. Yeah, he's speedy like Barbosa.
I did not like Barbosa, dude.
What?
I told. How do you not know that I didn't like Barbosa, man?
I didn't like Diaw. You didn't like Barbosa?
I like Diaw.
Why would you like Diaw?
Diaw, when he came on the Suns, was killing it, man. What was he like? He was.
I know
awesome
he
when
was helpful. I know he was helpful. I just despise the way he played basketball.
Ask the chat if they like Diaw when he.
Did you guys like Diaw? I mean, I can understand he's a Sun, so of course you're gonna like him. But Barbosa, did you not like Barbosa?
Barbosa was always. It felt like he was out of fucking control, dude, and he would always get his shit racked at the rim, dude. Miss shots or get his shit blocked. He would make some shots, dude. I'm not gonna lie, and he's fast. That's why they do the beep beep thing. But he would always he felt so out of control, dude. That's all I could say about Barbosa. I never liked him. I don't know what to say.
Bro, Barbosa is one of my favorite Suns of all time. You're gonna make me add a Barbosa jersey back here. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I got no room left.
Don't know what to tell you, dude. I'm just telling you straight.
Man, he was such a good compliment to Nash because he was so fast with the ball in his hand and he could finish so well. That jumper was decently reliable. He was like the perfect 6-man. He was like Lemon Pepper Lou before the Lemon Pepper.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's move on to Javon Carter. I'm sporting the Gabe Vaughn look. All right. It is freshly shaved for a special topic tonight, Javon Carter. He was listening. Diaw's better or equals Dario.
Equals
God,
Dario. Yeah,
that's-
see, Gary's in the chat. He liked 2014 Boris. Yeah, I mean, when he first was on the Suns, didn't he come? He came over in that sign and trade with what's his name, right? Fucking. How do we get Boris Diaw? He came over in the sign and trade from Atlanta, right?
Yeah, he did. I think.
Anyway,
I guess what I'm learning is that there's just certain things that piss you off about players. And what pissed me off about Diaw is I felt like he had one move. He would just throw his fat ass into you, back you down, spin this way. If it's not there, spin that way. Spin. Dario. Holy shit, he's right. It is Dario.
It is Dario that speaks French. They're incredibly similar, like eerily similar. Both not athletic. Both have like slow moves, but actually it gets it done. Yeah.
Roy with the worst take on the show. He says, I want Eric Bledsoe as a backup, not gonna lie. For that, you deserve this.
Oh my, you should be banned from talking basketball.
And you need to stay off the weed, because that is terrible.
I think
Please
he's got to be.
a joke.
He's got to be joking, right?
Please tell me that's a joke. AZ says, someone pull Roy's keyboard. LL. Seriously. Oh, my God. Iverson says he wants Lonzo or Spencer as a backup. That's much more like it.
Lonzo would be like a starter, dude.
Well, not with CP3.
So that's why you wouldn't get Lonzo.
You could say to Lonzo, look, bro, we'll give you a lot of minutes. It's just you're going to be learning from Chris Paul for a couple years. Can you handle that? Who doesn't want to learn from Chris Paul, bro?
Especially since they're considering giving CP3 an extension. I don't think a person like Ball in his young years, especially since he fixed his broke-ass three-point shot, to see if he wants to come and be on the bench, right?
Okay, Roy says he's joking. We're good. We don't have to cancel him like Suns Geek got canceled. Shout out to Suns Geek and the jam session tonight. They were good, man. They didn't have Darth, but we don't have Coach, so we're playing shorthanded as well.
Steph Curry starting.
And CP3 off the bench. Easy. That's totally doable. No, man, I got some juicy notes. So Javon Carter. Can
we talk about Carter?
Yes. Go ahead.
I don't know if this dude he got bullied by me on social media, and then he's like has my tweets with a notification bell on.
He does.
It was like the second I said that Javon Carter sucks ass, don't at me or whatever, and then all of a sudden he just cans like 4 threes in a row.
And what did I say? What did I text you?
You said he's inconsistent.
I said he's inconsistent. And tonight he showed his inconsistency. But also I think that he and Cam Payne both caught fire when they were playing together.
I think they do complement each other. EJ said that on the broadcast.
It's like they're brothers that have been playing together their entire life, and they just know where each other's going to be. It's awesome. They're like a whole thing for us. Like their minutes should be paired the whole time, so you can maximize what you get out of both of them. Do you agree?
Yeah, but like, how many shots did he take?
I'll look it up. He started slapping threes, and so did Cam. Cam got really hot. So did Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson's jumper is looking better and better by the day.
Javon took 12 shots, so yeah, I'd hope he made a few.
4 for 10 from 3. He should not be shooting 4 for. You know who should be getting 10 threes a game? Who's the player who isn't getting 10 threes that should be?
Cam Johnson.
No. Well, yes, but
no. Yeah.
Read my mind better.
DeAndre Ayton.
Jesus Christ. Langston Galloway. If any motherfucker's getting 10
even playing.
I know. Why is Javon Carter getting 10
threes from the bench?
Yeah. That's crazy.
So I'll tell you why Javon all of a sudden had some actual shots go in, because we were playing a garbage team, and he was making shit in garbage time. He had some open threes that he just misses, and it annoys the fuck out of me. Like CP3 dimed him in the corner. Brick. He does that all the time. CP3, dime, brick. He like hesitated. First 3 threes he took. And then he got a rhythm. He made 1 or 2, and by then the game was like over. So
Did you see when Frank got in? First thing he did, look at the rim, take a jumper real quick and brick. Like, it really felt like he was just saying, finally I get to take a shot. Don't mind if I do. Brick. Like, I don't mind that it's a brick. It's fine. He's cold. But same thing with Sticks. Man, I just don't know. I don't know. I feel like at the 7-minute mark, maybe 8-minute mark, we could have put our scrubs in.
yeah, like with the situation with him, he's getting in there and like not getting the ball. Like there's like only 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, so it's like,
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when the Bulls of like the 90s, they used to bring in Judd Bushler. Tell me you remember him.
I do not.
They had this dude who was a white dude, a volleyball player, literally like USA volleyball player. His name was Judd Bushler. And they would bring this white dude in and he would dunk on people. But it only happened when Jordan and Pippen and Rodman were out because they had already blown the doors off, right? So you get so we got some people that know Judd Bushler from Arizona, Dario says. U of A grad. That'll make Coach excited. But yeah, same thing with Sticks. Sticks is only getting in when it's completely inconsequential, but he's also only getting in when there's like 4 minutes left in the game, and it's like you're going to get 1 or 2 shots. What can you do? And he's under this immense pressure. That's not a good time for him to be learning.
No.
And I think he needs to be learning on the job, but I'm not going to complain about losses. Wins. I can't complain about a win like that.
You can't take anything away from the time that he's even in the game, dude. Like in that trash time, and he's getting the ball with like 2 minutes left, and he feels like he has to jack it up because he doesn't know when the next shot's gonna come. Like I don't know. I'm not taking anything away, trying to figure anything out about Sticks this year. It's just you can't. Like he's not getting enough playing time. Ideally, he would add a summer league, and if he's not playing, you put him in the G League and get consistent playing time. He only had a couple games there, and it's just he's getting in with like 2 minutes left and super trash time or whatever, 4 minutes left. It's like
we need to get Sticks on the show. Like, we're Sticks' biggest fans, right? And I don't feel like anybody else respects Sticks the way you and I do. I know Coach does as well. But, like, I hear a lot of talking shit on him on Twitter, bro. I hear a lot of shit talk about him.
Well, it's magnified when you consider they didn't draft Halliburton, And he was in – I don't know if you saw that list of top players under 25, I think. And Halliburton was pretty high on that list.
Oh, Jesus. He's already on that list? Really?
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't look at that list when I saw that Book got snubbed where he was. I was like, fuck this list. I don't care.
Nah, but Bridges was pretty high up, and I think he was actually higher than Sabonis, and then he was higher than Ayton. So I guess that tells you the national perception of him, and I guess contract-wise where it's going to fall down. I don't know if it's necessarily going to go that route, but
I think the only thing that would keep Sticks from coming on our show, aside from the fact that
PR,
we're complete nobodies, is PR. And we would have to be real careful about what we say. Like, we wouldn't be able, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'd be wanting to ask questions like, what the fuck is Monty's problem, Sticks? He's gonna be like, But,
PR would be like, fuck no, you're not going on there.
Yeah. Not those clowns. You're not going to talk to them. They've been talking shit on Ayton all year.
Or it'd be like, give them a predetermined list of questions ahead of time that we approve.
Oh, God.
And if you deviate, we're going to fucking pull the plug.
Man. That's a dream, though, to get him on the show. So I did notice one negative thing. I do want to say one negative thing about Sticks. Does anybody notice this? So when Coach and I are watching Sticks, we've been watching lately at like his foot speed on defense. We want to see how he guards around the perimeter, if that's the reason why he's not getting in the game. He just didn't seem like he knew what he was doing in there tonight. Like, there was a play where he's on defense and the guy he's guarding is literally, it's like a half court set, but that guy passed the ball and is like backing up to half court, and Sticks is guarding him at the NBA 3-point line. Like he's out on the 3-point line, like making sure his guy doesn't get the ball at half court. It's like, Sticks, you don't got to guard him out there. Like, not only do you not have to really guard anyone out there, you don't have to guard this fucking guy who's getting garbage time. Like, pull yourself in a little bit and help the team defense. It's just like little things like that I think could possibly be getting in the way, you know? Iverson says Jalen gets on the show, looks at the other shows, tell Ayton about the Ayton bash, and then Ayton shows up and beats my ass. That's how it happens. That's how it would happen. So yeah, maybe we better not, man. Darth in the house. What's good, man? He says he's always lost on D, needs development. Peeps need to get off wanting him to play / be productive. Darth, you might get me there at some point. I'm just not, man. I'm just not. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to defend myself. Salty, tell me how you feel, but I just think that I just feel like he needs to play. I'm not saying he needs to play over someone, but I wouldn't mind him coming in and getting a little bit of the minutes, maybe that Dario's getting. Dario showed up today, right? So it's not really fair to say that about Dario, but there's like this Dario and Craig, right? They're playing Dario and Craig, and I feel like Stick should be inserted in there just a little bit.
Yeah,
because Dario and Craig are not big men.
I'm not there anymore with him, like actually getting like regular minutes. I'm kind of past that. It's just, I'm at the point where if we blow these teams out, I want to see him in trash time. And I
For more
don't
than
even,
4 minutes.
Yeah, I would hope that maybe we're just completely blowing a team out and he gets to be in the whole fourth quarter. That'd be the dream scenario, no?
Definitely.
But yeah, I don't have any idea that he's going to be playing significant minutes unless there's an injury. Knock on wood. What about Booker's 3-point shooting, man? Finally got the touchback for tonight.
What are you talking about? I'm sorry, I was reading Darth's
Booker's 3-point shooting
looked good. Looked real good. Moving threes, kind of falling forward threes. Hand in the face. I think he hit an open one here. It was beautiful. It's beautiful. And it's so needed, man. I think it was just one of those games versus the Clippers where not only were, like we talked about, obviously PG was in God mode, but we were in dog shit mode, right? Everyone on the team was. And that continued in the first quarter. The first quarter ended, Book had 6 points, Paul had 6 points, and Ayton had 4 points. And they were the only starters that scored in the first quarter. None of the other, like Crowder took a 3, missed, stopped shooting. McHale, nothing in the first quarter. So I don't know, man. It was just a bad game. Started bleeding into this game. And like you said, Monty got on them and got them going, and it worked. It worked.
I think it's important that Booker has his 3-point shot because defensively, if you always know he's going to go to the rack, you kind of play defense that way. Like if he's a 3-point threat, it just opens his game up a lot. So if he's canning threes, it's kind of impossible to stop him because he's developed the rest of his game, right? Mid-range, getting to the cup, driving to the rim, get fouled. That's another thing we need to talk about is the lack of free throw shooting on this team, man.
Hold that thought for me. I want to get back to Darth's comment. He says, but he plays no defense. You just said it. Put him in to get blended. Oh, man, that's a great point. I know. Is he going to get blended by a big man any more than Dario gets blended? I mean, Okay, and then his next point was he's the last dude off the bench. I love that this is what people find wrong with the team. I'm not saying that this is wrong with the team. I'm not saying Monty's doing anything wrong. It's just a desire. I just desire that if you take a player top 10, that you will put him in and do the due diligence of trying to see what he is, but also getting him ready. Because we've talked about this, Darth, like, I won't even speak on potential injuries for our big men. I won't even say their names. But if our big men get in foul trouble, you're looking at putting Craig at the center position. He's not a center. He's not even a power forward. He's a big 3. I just want Sticks to get this out of his system and have a little bit of confidence going into the playoffs for foul trouble and, God forbid, injury. Is that fair to say, Salt? Like, that's as far as I'm going with Sticks. I'm not saying he deserves many minutes from anyone else, but we have a deficit. We chose not to go after a big after big, after Gorgie Dang, after big, after Andre Drummond, after big, after all of them came available, and we walked away and said, not happening. He says Jalen's isn't an NBA player yet. He will get no playoff minutes. I'll be honest with you, man. He doesn't look like an NBA player the last 2 times I've seen him play. Before that, I felt like he was an NBA player. What do you think, Salt?
He's a project big man, and I think if you get in that situation, they're going to be in up shit creek without a paddle, essentially, So you got to kind of hope that that's not the case. If that is the case, then you're going to hope that you kept Damian Jones,
Yeah. He says if we get in foul trouble, we'll go Rocket style and try to beat you with our small lineups and wings. That is possible too, but is that going to work against the Lakers with Drummond and AD? I mean, those are some talented bigs. Drummond had a 20-11 night tonight. He's looking healthy. He's looking right. Is that going to work against the big-ass Nuggets? Maybe it works. I'll be so happy if it works. I'm not going to be complaining like, oh, we beat them with small ball, but I wanted Sticks. No, if it works, it works. I'm just suspicious that against the Lakers, who I've been watching lately, who drubbed the Nets tonight with no LeBron and no AD, that's just a big-ass team, and I worry about going up against height with only one tall player on our team.
Well, you got Frank Kaminsky, dude.
That's not even a joke when you're talking to me, because I'm actually saying, yeah, we should be playing Frank more. We should be playing him more.
I mean, in the depth chart, he's going to be the next guy up.
That's fair. That's fine. Start playing Frank.
So, I mean, in the grand schemes, you're going to go him, and then in case of emergency, break glass. And if you're breaking that glass, you're kind of up shit creek, like I said. If you're playing Sticks, you're in a bad shape. Because he's not even a center, dude. He's 6'10".
He's another big, he can
he's
block shots.
Power forward, skinny.
Yeah. Says,
got those goggles on.
Yeah, they're saying Frank will get the minutes, but Frank got cooked by Jokic. Yeah, he got cooked by Jokic, but that's because he's not really a defender first. Jokic cooks everybody. Jokic cooks Ayton, and Ayton cooks him right back. Can't really be mad at Frank for that. But I really am hoping that we get Frank back in the rotation. What do you think about that?
I talked about that on the previous podcast. I said perfect second unit. In my opinion, I think that Frank needs to be in there. Dario needs to be slotted in the 4, play his natural position, and then you go from there.
How many minutes do you think you'd give Frank? 15?
Like 15, yeah.
My man, I knew it.
I mean, you're not telling him to go in there and be a world beater on offense. He's in there.
Just saying, go in there, get some rebounds, maybe hit a 3 or 2.
If you're open, shoot a 3.
Pass it well to Mikhail. Be a big body. Absolutely.
So, he's coming back from COVID. He played a little bit tonight, which was important. I think if you get him back in the groove, get his feet under him, maybe he would crack that second unit.
Man, I'm excited for these next couple games coming up. Remember, we've got 4 games coming up. And
so let's get back to Booker
on this Helton stand. Go ahead.
So Booker, like I was saying before you deviated off topic.
My bad.
No,
My bad.
With his 3-point shooting, I think it's key for his game, because even though he's putting up points in the playoffs, it's going to tighten up. So if they know that there's a weakness in your game and you're not hitting your threes, how defense works, right? People can slack off or double you or rotate the defense to try to account for you trying to get to the rack. So if he's hitting threes, he's just going to be unguardable, in my opinion. And another thing that we need to bring up is lack of free throws. It's a consistent thing on this team that they just don't shoot free throws, and it's not the refs. I know that, Coach B likes to talk about the refs, and, a lot of times they are slighted against us, but it's just the way our team is made. And I think Coach even talked about it, that he doesn't mind not having our players get fouled and getting to the line because it's just the way we play. But Eddie Johnson talked about it. Lack of free throws is just not going to cut it in the playoffs. The game slows down. You need to get to the line. We had 2 free throws at one point in this game. I'm not sure where we finished, but
we had 0 in the first half and we ended with 3.
3 free throws for a whole fucking game, man.
I'm pretty sure we ended with 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but yeah.
I just never have seen a team that gets to the line as little as the Suns, man. They just don't. If Devin Booker doesn't get fouled going to the rack, there's literally no one else that gets fouled on this team. Just go down the list. DeAndre Ayton doesn't get fouled. He's not like a physical player. He's a finesse guy. Dario Saric could get fouled every now and again
with his up and unders, baiting a foul. But bro, to your point about us not going to the free throw line isn't directly linked to the refs. I agree. I was thinking that today, and then I was reading what people were saying on Twitter. It does not seem like they agree with us. I think there's a difference between the refs calling terrible calls against you, calling for a foul, which they call us for the most ticky-tack fouls, bro. They call us for the stupidest shit. See, but that's for the other team. That doesn't stop us from getting to the free throw line. I think what really is stopping us from getting there is just like you're saying, we don't go at the rim. We don't. And playoff time, bro. What happens if we have a playoff series where a couple of those games we can't get to the line to get any free throws against the West?
It's not good. Because
it's not.
Getting to the line, it's multifaceted,
7 from 7 from the line. I guess we got 7. I guess 3 might have been at the end of the third.
It's still low, I mean,
very low.
7's better than 2, but at the same time, from a perspective of seeing other teams get to the line 20 times, 25 times a night, people like James Harden maybe going to the line 20 by himself, or Luka Doncic, or any of these players, it's troublesome because you're not going to get other players in foul trouble. And that's a big thing in the playoffs, because the game slows down and foul trouble does play into it. Because if you get the other team in foul trouble, then they have to sub people out, and it changes rotations. It can win you a game or lose you a game. So it is a problem because, people get us in foul trouble. We have players that foul out. Devin Booker's fouled out. It's part of the game. So I don't know. I don't know if you can actually change that. I mean, the coach can tell the players to get to the rack more often and be more aggressive there. But at the end of the day, the player kind of determines whether that's going to happen or not,
Definitely. I mean, our scheme is what it is, man, and it's not going to change. And it's a great scheme. This is the best scheme we've had in a long time. So Dario, I know we talked about him a little bit. Do you trust that he's all the way back to normal? Because I don't trust it yet.
Dude, what is back to normal with Dario? He's an up and down player.
Good point.
I mean, he's gonna have a good stretch of games, and then he's gonna go through another stretch where he sucks.
Ugh.
So that's who he is as a player, and that's who he's always been. That's why he didn't stay with the Sixers. That's why he was traded from the Wolves. You just hope that the stretches of good play are longer than they're during the time you need them, you know? That's what I think. So we'll see what happens in the playoffs, because hopefully he doesn't go on a drought where he's like sucking ass for like 4 out of the, you know,
I'm
four-game
expecting Dario to get to the point where he's consistent. You think that's pipe dream?
I mean, how old is he? He's been in the NBA pretty long, right? Not long.
No.
I mean, how old is he?
I'm looking him up right now. Anybody know what?
He's been in the NBA like 4 or 5 years, 5 years, something like that.
He's 27. 27, bro.
So you really think that he is not to a point where he's established some of the shit he's going to do as a player?
Yes, I know what you mean. I just feel like I've seen him be much more consistent than he is this year.
For a longer stretch.
For longer stretches.
By no means can you say this dude is like consistent. He's going to do so-and-so, score a certain amount of points, like locked in, you know?
I could see him being consistent the entire playoffs. Give or take a game or two. I could see him being, like Roy says, bubble Dario, and just being consistent all the way through the playoffs and being one of our best playoff players.
He could, but that's part of the streakiness, because he could go on a stretch of a month of being a really good player, but then he go through a couple of weeks or even a month just not playing good. So it's like, if you get that in the playoffs, yeah, it's like a lottery system.
If we get that, Dario, we are effed. Might as well just right? Because you're only going in with 2 bigs on your roster, essentially, that you're willing to play, Sarge and DA. If Dario shows up and he can't do it in the playoffs, you're screwed, because you've only got 1 big. And now it's like we're the Rockets. And how far do the Rockets get in the playoffs when they do small ball?
Well, I mean, that year with Chris Paul, they were kind of cooking.
Yes, they were. That's true.
They were going to beat the Warriors that year.
It's true.
And Chris Paul got hurt.
Maybe it'll work.
So,
man.
I don't know. You never know with these matchup situations, but every team for the most part has deficiencies. So I think that we know what ours is. Like, I think the Suns management, the coaching staff knows what their deficiencies are, and ours is just depth at the big positions, you know? Like, Dario is a 4. He's not a 5, bro.
He's not, man. He's not.
And he's playing the 5 because we don't have players that can play the 5. I mean, Frank can. I don't understand.
It was COVID, but he did get taken out before COVID, right? I mean, he did. What's going on, Brandon King?
I just don't understand how the coach can see Frank Kaminsky and think this guy's a starter for a certain period of time, right? This guy's good enough to start, and we win a whole bunch of games, right? And then all of a sudden, this guy's just not good enough to play at all, like not even on the bench. Like, how does that even make any logical sense? I don't get it.
Well, he's streaky. He's streaky enough to get.
Yeah, Dario's streaky.
Yeah.
He still plays. He's locked in at that 6-man position.
Yeah.
It's an excuse at this point, because in reality, we have a 7-footer available. He's just not playing right now. COVID hit him, and I think he got out of the lineup before that. So hopefully, like I said, he gets his feet under him. Probably take a couple weeks, but hopefully he can get in the good graces of the coach. The coach thinks about things because honestly, if they don't plan for bigs in the playoffs, they're gonna get smacked up. If you don't get Frank in there, I think you're gonna have some major issues because you're gonna deal with the Nuggets, you're gonna deal with the Lakers, just big teams. The Clippers have big players, right? Zubats or whatever the fuck his name is. They picked up. They just have big players. There's the good teams in the West. Gobert. So I don't know. I'm not the coach, and we got to believe in our coach. But if I was the coach, I would have Frank in the 5, and I would have Dario at the 4. You know.
So somebody was asking, what do we rank in rebounds? We rank 21 with 43.5. But hey, the Jazz, they're only at 48.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that they're only what is that? 5 point, a little bit more than 5 or under 5 away from us, and we out rebounded the shit out of them and beat their ass.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe rebounding isn't a problem.
I don't even know. I don't know. We're talking about rebounding. We're just talking about guarding the other players, right? Rebounding.
Definitely.
It's all that. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I was saying I want Sir Langston to get some minutes too, but I'm fine with the way. I mean, we scored 134 points tonight. I'm not tripping. Our offense is good. Whoever played was the right people to play. Tonight, no problems, man. All gravy. Love this win. Let's take a look at what happened in the NBA. Something terrible happened in the NBA tonight, Salt.
Lakers beat the Nets, man.
How?
It's the Nets. They had excuses galore, right? Did Harding didn't play, or Kyrie Irving got kicked? KD was on a minute limit. Excuses.
Well, that's the only. Then that makes sense. That makes sense because
I tweeted about this. All right, the Lakers are a problem.
Big time.
They already revealed that Anthony Davis is coming back, and LeBron's not too far behind him. So they're gonna get those two back within a couple weeks. Both of them.
They did not slide very far in the standings.
They didn't slide at all. So I was tweeting it out. They're probably going to finish the 4 or 5. Whoever matches up against them in the first round, good luck, dude. So wouldn't
it be great if it's just like it is, like Clippers, Denver, or LA, or Portland? Like, let's get these bad boys beating each other while we are dealing with Fat Boy Luka. Trademark. That's the goal. Give us the Grizzlies. I'll take Ja Morant, who is very special. I'll take Ja Morant or Fat Boy Luka and the Glassman Porzingis over. I don't want to see the Trailblazers. I don't want to see the Nuggets. I don't want to see the Lakers or the Clippers. Give me the Jazz. I'd rather play the Jazz in the first round.
Oh, for sure. Without a doubt. Matchup-wise, we match up way better with the Jazz, and considering who the Lakers got, and it's not even a question to me. But so if you're in that area, like, shout out to the Trailblazers dudes that stopped by here. Like, if you slot in there against the Lakers the first round, shit, good luck. Or Denver, or that matchup's going to be, I don't know. It's going to be a nightmare for whoever gets that. And because you remember how we were saying that it only matters to finish top 4. At this point, it matters to finish not playing the Lakers the first round. Like, let's make that a priority.
Very good, man. Very true. I want to see LeBron when he's got some playoff miles on his legs already. Not fresh, not first round. No way. Although
like the Suns' first time back in the playoffs in 10 years, and guess who they have the first round?
Yeah, Drummond and AD and
the LA Lakers. Shit.
I mean, Gonna have to go through them at some point, though.
You will, but I'd rather do it way later. Way later, man. Save it. Same with Clippers and stuff like that. Like, there's no way that we'd take them in the first round. I just avoid that at all costs. I don't care, man.
So, are we to that point where we're saying we can't beat the Lakers in the playoffs?
I'm not at that point. I just don't want to see them in the first round.
I mean, let's realistically think about this. Let's walk this through. You know, who do they have at the point? They got Schroeder at the point. They got KCP at the 2.
I'm just going to be honest with you. You don't even have to break it down. I think the Lakers have a lot more talent than us. They're bigger than us. They have a lot more experience.
A lot more talent?
Yeah, I mean, they have Drummond on their team now. Dude's putting up like fucking double numbers, and I'm telling you, man, they have playoff experience. They have the best player in the world with LeBron, arguably the second best player with AD is going to be Rusty and stuff like that, but they already won a championship. They have that experience. It's just we have no playoff experience. It's just I don't know. I'm just kind of being real.
Yeah, Romp, we're saying the same thing. Nuggets, Clippers, Lakers, definitely going to give us problems. Definitely going to make us look like one of those teams that, well, they just had to get some playoff experience and they'll be back next year and maybe they'll be better. I just don't want that, man. I want a long playoff run. I just don't think it's too much to ask. The way we're playing this year, man, being the number 2 seed, smacking the number 1 seed, that can't mean nothing.
The play-in tournament's actually kind of interesting the way it works. Did I send you that video that was, I think the NBA put out, how it works?
Breaking it down, yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
Burner says, yeah, but do the Lakers have Nader? I thought so. Nader's been replaced. Somebody up here was saying, how has Nader not played in 12 games? I'll tell you, it's called Torrey Craig. He came in and just heisted all of his minutes right away from him.
Have you even thought for a second about Nader being off this team?
No. I just keep thinking about how much I love Torrey Craig.
Expendable as fuck, dude.
Absolutely. That's a player you could actually waive if you needed to.
Oh, for sure. Without a doubt.
But we don't pick up anyone, so why would we waive him?
It's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It sucks. I knew we were going to learn a lot about our team when we played that 2-game road stand, and I feel like it really hurt everybody's feelings about the Suns losing to the Clippers more so than it should have.
I didn't
not you and me, but just the media and like Suns fans. I feel like they're a little bit emotionally down after that loss to the Clippers.
You can't judge anything off of that, really. I mean, you're coming off a back-to-back. Like, if it was an even matchup where we're both going into the playoffs, you both have rested the same amount of games or whatever, you're going into it equal, and it's a different feeling, man. They were coming off a back-to-back. It was a tough game. It was an overtime game with the Utah Jazz. So I don't know. I think the Clippers are a good team, and they could easily come out of the West and go to the championship for sure. Like Romp said, Nuggets, Clippers, Lakers, us.
Portland.
4 best team.
Portland gives us a matchup that I'm not looking forward to now that they're healthy and have Norman Powell.
For sure.
You know?
There's no cakewalks in the West, bro. There's not. I mean, even the Grizzlies, for what they are, I mean, if they do that playing game and they make it in, it's not like they're just like going to be a cakewalk in the first round, you know what I'm saying? Like, or the Mavericks. The Mavericks will still be tough. They have Doncic. They have your favorite player, the unicorn, you know? So top to bottom, 1 through 10, just it's tough. It's tough.
Only other thing I can really think about from this game was, did you see that Cam Johnson step back that got called for a foul?
Yeah, it was good.
I like how that's a foul, but the other things that we see happen to the Suns is just like, oh no, you're good. That's just like who is the Jazz player, Clarkson, raking his face across Booker, or his hand across Booker's face as he's shooting. No foul. Cam Johnson does a step back and just pushes the guy a little bit just to get him away. Like, that was way less of a push than the Jordan push on Russell, right? I mean, that's kind of the first thing that comes to mind. Bullshit call that robbed Cam Johnson of a big three, but also kind of like if he sees himself being able to do that, he might do it more. You know, that could have lit a fire under him. Like, yo, I can do dribble moves. Like, that's creating his own shot. That's another level for him that he's been working on, but I've never seen him do a step back that slick. I know he could do it. Of course he could do it, but not in a game, right? You never seen him pull that off in a game.
I think that's the next step for him, because when Booker came out, he wasn't like a dribble god. No one even thought he could dribble, honestly. People thought he was a Cam Johnson mold, shoot threes, a shooter. And he develops some crazy handles. He gets to the rack more than he shoots threes now. So players' games develop. I think Cam Johnson has a lot of room to grow, and it's exciting. He's tall. He can put on some more muscle, and he can throw it down. Like, he develops more of that step back dribble moves. Yeah, it'd be really, really phenomenal.
Man, there's a couple of plays where they came down and Booker's standing in the corner and Mikal gets the ball at like the free throw line, does honestly, it was like a dream shake, turns around, hits a jumper. They come back down, Book's in the corner. They give it to Cam. He splashes a three. And I'm like, this is so fun to watch Booker just going up and down the court while the Suns are racking up points and he doesn't have to do anything. Like, so that's new.
Another thing that was nice to see was Booker's dimes to Mikal Bridges from like across half court. He did it twice this game.
We could not ignore that, man. Wow, those passes. Wow.
So
Steve Nash-like passes.
Yeah, I think people just don't get how hard that is, because essentially you have to lead the player. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like in football where you're leading your target.
Everybody's talking about that, but I want to talk about the second pass that he made to Mikal, and I want to give Mikal the props. First of all, the Booker pass was great. That second one, he put some English on it so that when it hit the ground and skipped straight to him. That was dope. It was a great pass by Book. I think the first one was a little bit better, though. But Mikal catching that second one down low, taking one more step as not to travel, and flipping it in with the left hand, fucking goat shit, bro. Sorry.
That's his game, dude. I'm telling you, man. Like, EJ was talking about his foot speed and how Mikal's probably the fastest on the team. That's his game, man. People can't keep up with this dude. His ability to get to the cup, man, and just finish. Like, his Euro steps, like getting a pass as low and then still putting it up. Yeah, man. Because he's long as fuck, dude. His arms, he's Stretch Armstrong.
I know Crowder only had 11 points, but, dude, it was nice to see him. He missed that first one. I was thinking, here we go. Another stinker from 99. Then he hits 3 in a row. He was looking good. His 3 is on. Books was on. Man, if we just could have had a little bit of this versus the Clippers, I would have loved to have gotten that win, but I am not worried about that Clippers loss.
Booker, Elixity in the chat was talking about Booker's smile after you dime the pass. I know you like the pass when you're playing, right? Are you
Oh, yeah.
a selfish player?
No, I love passing. I love
All right,
passing.
so like when I play basketball, I love passing. Like the experience to get that is almost I like it almost as much as when I score. You know what I'm saying? Probably
It's
more.
because you watch Steve Nash. So
So diamond up
programmed
a
that way.
player, making people go ooh ah on a play on a pass.
Hell yeah.
It feels good. So the fact that Booker got that enjoyment from a pass like that, I think it's big for his game because he's not been a good passer by any means. And if you look at Booker's game in general, right? This dude's young and he's already made the All-Star game twice. He's improving his defense. It's improved tremendously this season. Okay. That helps him be an all-around player because if you look at the greats like Kobe and Jordan, what were they good at? They're both extremely good at defense, which he probably won't be, but he's going to be usable or like he can play
He's
defense.
completely adequate on defense this year.
Yeah, so
that's what I think he's gone from a bad defender to an adequate defender this year.
So it's not a deficiency. So you can't say, hey, he's deficient in this area.
You can't say he doesn't D up.
So you look at his game all around. So what does he need to improve upon to just become this incredible?
It's not even passing. I disagree with you. I disagree on the passing.
I think that his passing was not. I don't know if it was because he didn't pass or it just the passes weren't there.
I think his passing is severely underrated because when he's driving hard to the rim and they double him, he's so good at knowing where someone is on the wing, and he does such a good job of full speed driving to the rim, getting rid of it to somebody who's open for a shot. That and his lobs are pretty nice. Sometimes he throws stinkers for lobs, right? I've seen a bad lob. His lob game is dope. I think his biggest deficiency is his handles. He does not have the ball on a string. Once he gets ahead of steam and gets going, he's gravy. But in the whole, like, let me just mix you up real quick and get into something. If you pressure him, he'll and like slap the ball and lose it, and there it goes. What do you think?
I think you're on there, but what I would say why his handles and his passing weren't up to snuff is his high turnover rate in the beginning of the year. You know what I'm saying? He was forcing shit, getting his shit ripped. There's a lot of passes he'll make when he's driving to the cup and he just panic passes the ball into a turnover, you know? Yeah. So the difference between the way he was passing before and like elite passers, like you're talking about Joker from on the Nuggets or Doncic and stuff, it's the way the pass goes to the players, sets them up, you know, dime status on 2K when you're a dimer.
So you're talking about like the passes aren't perfectly accurate like they should be.
It's just like where you're setting your players up. So like the way you pass to them, there's certain passers that are elite because of the way they pass to their players. It's just simple for the people that they're passing to make shots, like 3-point shots, or make a bucket. Like CP3, for example, the way he passes the people puts them in perfect position to score. So what I'm saying with Booker, like tonight when he was diming up Bridges on the run, that's the shit that I'm talking about. Like if he develops more of that game where he consistently gets more assists a night, like that's this all around shit. Like where people see like a Luka Doncic, you look at his stat line, it's just well rounded because it's like rebounds, passes, points, and Luka's not even a good 3-point shooter. Booker's a way better 3-point shooter than Luka would ever be. So if you develop all those parts of your game, you're just unstoppable.
Luka's been hot from 3 lately. Hot.
Yeah, but he's not traditionally. He's not that good at 3. Like
right.
He's a very streaky 3-point shooter.
Yeah, man. Let's take a look because we're on a 4-game homestand, and I'd like to predict a win for the rest of the year. Just kidding. Let's take a look.
Mm-hmm.
So remember last night or 2 nights ago, sorry, I said this homestand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. I said we go 4-1 and lose a mystery game. I'm thinking either Miami Houston or San Antonio. Get one night of rest, come back for this Houston game. What do you see versus Houston? John Wall's back. They beat the Mavs.
I think we clap the Houston Rockets, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I think that last game was a anomaly.
And also about that last game, Ayton came alive, right?
Yeah.
Like Ayton realized that Christian Wood ain't shit compared to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Christian Wood's really good and he's got great game, but he can't stop Ayton. And Ayton already knows that. Ayton figured that out in the second quarter. So if he comes out, this could be a very big Ayton game. I'm saying Ayton gets a 25-15 game.
I think he'll have a good game too, but I think the Suns remember that game and how close it was. I think
they won't take him as lightly.
The coach is not going to let him forget that shit, and they're going to come out and just stomp. That's what I think, because the Houston Rockets just aren't good. They're not, dude. I don't care what people say. Their record is what it is because they aren't good.
I mean, they're in a rebuild.
That's fine.
You know?
I don't think we lose to Houston. I mean, Miami is going to be a revenge game for them. You never know with them, and then we haven't played the Spurs yet. So who knows what that game's going to look like? I couldn't even tell you about the Spurs. I haven't watched one Spurs game the whole year.
Yeah, man, they're under the same thing that we are. Like they never get to be on TV, just like us. It's like ESPN would rather die than put the Spurs on a game on their TV. It's crazy.
And Sacramento plays us pretty tough, so
they do, but we've got that at home. That's what I'm saying, man. One of these has got to be an L, right? Not that it has to be, but I don't know. It would be great if we could get through this 5-game homestand clean, considering we're going up against Milwaukee, Philly. Shout out to Boston.
You have to like almost go undefeated.
You're right.
Because a lot of those are payback games for those teams because we beat them already.
Right.
And it's going to be at their place, right?
Already beat Milwaukee.
We beat Philly.
Already beat Philly. Sorry, Romp. Already beat Boston. Should have beat Brooklyn. That's our fucking revenge game.
But you could easily see you losing a couple of those games because it's on the road.
This is a grind. This is the worst thing I've seen all season.
Yeah. So what I'm telling you
Holy
is
shit. Sorry, sir. Take a look at 2 games down. We got that LA Utah.
Damn.
Run that shit back.
All right. So what I'm saying is because everybody's like all about trying to catch Utah and be the top spot, you could easily drop, dude.
You're right. Fuck. You're right.
Because look at the standings right now. Look at the standings. Literally, we're separated by what is it? It's not that much, man. In the loss column, from going from a 2nd seed, dropping all the way down to the 5th spot.
So we don't want to get in the 3rd seed, right? Because the 3rd seed, in my opinion, guarantees we're playing either the Nuggets, Lakers, or Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Which I think, oh God. This sucks, right, bro?
Stressing you out, huh?
I didn't know that. I guess I hadn't really thought about, because Coach is always doing that stupid shit where he makes us not look at the schedule, not think about games coming up. I haven't really. Just kidding, Coach. But I haven't really looked at what a gauntlet the end of that season is. Holy shit.
The Knicks are playoff team too, right?
They are in the East, absolutely a playoff team. They play
Knicks,
hard.
LA, Utah, all tough. Brooklyn, tough. Boston, Philly, Milwaukee, all tough.
I'm gonna call it right now. Book goes off for 40 to 50 against New York.
Yo, that stretch right there, all of it.
Fucking
You're
nightmare, right?
Milwaukee. How many games is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 brutal ass games that are gonna literally determine what's gonna be your playoff fate, in my opinion.
And 5 of them are on the road.
It's gonna be crazy.
4 out of the 7 are on national TV.
Yep.
So let's just take a stab at this. This 7-game trip, let's look ahead at this. We already looked at the 4-game trip coming up. We think we'll lose maybe one mystery game, but it would be really nice. You could see us going 5-0.
I'm saying that I feel like you almost have to go undefeated in this stretch.
I agree. And you know Monty's probably preaching that, especially after he watches our podcast.
Because you're like, damn, 7 games like this, you guys are fucking in for it.
This is gonna tell you everything. We thought we learned something in this little 2-game stretch.
No.
You're gonna learn everything. All the flaws gonna be coming out.
Any back-to-backs in that stretch?
Got a day. Back-to-back. Philly, Boston is a back-to-back.
Fuck.
Brooklyn, New York is a back-to-back.
So that's almost
Come on, Silver.
That's almost guaranteed 2 losses at that point, I would say.
You're fucking right, dude. Shit. All right, so that's 2.
Utah, LA split.
I'm saying oh god, this hurts, but I'll be happy with 4 and 3. What do you think?
Yeah.
We go 4 and 3, 5 and 2, 3 and 4.
Anyway, it's you got to take it one game at a time, like Coach B says, but that's going to determine your playoff fate, in my opinion. Because if you have some like bullshit happen to you and you end up losing almost most of those, you could literally drop to the 5th or 6th seed within a blink of an eye, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
because like we have literally not gone all year without we've gone the whole year pretty much not losing more than 2 games here, whatever, 2 in a row. So you don't want to like be at the end of the year and playing these playoff teams and then like lose 3 in a row or lose a certain amount out of 7 or whatever,
Man, I want to shout out the chat one more time. We got some people in here I haven't seen before. AD14 Detroit? Is that what that means? What's good, bro? He's saying that's why we got to win the next 4 games. Absolutely. Burner is saying, oh no, that's AD again saying Silver doesn't want us in the playoffs. NBA Burner says NBA doesn't want the Suns to succeed. I don't know, man. This is a scary stretch. We got Shamil Kasim in here. Romp, man, we appreciate you showing up.
Hit the like button so we can get 20 likes.
Please, let's get to 20. A little bit not as exciting of a show tonight, right? Like nobody's really I feel like everybody's dead, a little bit dead inside after that Clippers loss, bro. But we're going to get the momentum back up. We're going to get the chat's momentum back up. We're going to get it back up to 40 plus people in here, the entire show. And that's going to have to do with the Suns going on this 4-game streak. And then, of course, these big games. I think Philly's going to be a big podcast night. Brooklyn, even Boston, even New York, especially LA and Utah again. So it's all good, man. These are kind of the dog days of the summer, having to get through this little stint of easier teams before you go up against the best in the NBA's East, at least. And then the two of the best West teams.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Yeah, Roy saying New York Knicks will be tough. Can't think that that's going to be one of those games that we win because it could very well be tough. But anyways, man, next game is Houston Monday night, 9 p.m. Do you think you'll be able to be here, Salt?
What's it, Monday? What time is that my time?
7 your time.
Yeah, I should be here.
Cool. Hopefully, Coach will be feeling good, man. We missed you, Coach. Show does not flow the normal way without you, man. We need your humor. We need all your facts. But we'll see you next time, Coach, man. We appreciate everybody coming out and being in the chat tonight. Vlogs is saying a 120 to 104 win versus the Rockets. That'd be really nice. Yeah, man. You got anything to say closing out?
Just get those wins, man.
Absolutely. Man, not that much excitement for a 23-point or what was
It's
it,
just
like
the team.
30.
Hey, trust me. The people don't get up for a game against the Wizards, bro. No one cares. I mean, for the most part, like the casual fans that would fill up the chat, they don't care. Like,
Yeah.
it was a blowout. People turned it off probably early. So
Yeah, man. We're just crawling right now until it's time to fucking fight. And we're about to be in a fight for our lives, and I cannot wait. Suns win. Suns win. Have a good night, folks.
Let's get ready to rumble. Barkley 24. Yes. Charles Barkley. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
22.5. Book on the crossover. Gets inside and hammers it down.